So when the weekend comes, I really like to take the time to make oatmeal. And you might be thinking, oatmeal is pretty easy. I throw a couple of packets of that instant stuff in the microwave. So I am not talking about that kind of oatmeal. I am talking about whole grain oats, toasted in a pan, and then boiled up and added some spices and little extras that make it really special. So although this oatmeal may not be as fast as your weekday oatmeal, it is definitely worth taking the time to do on the weekend. All right, so why don't we start off first by showing you all of the ingredients, so when you choose to make this at home, you are set up for success and have everything ready. So of course the first thing are the oats. I like Old Fashioned Oats. That's the whole oats that haven't been crushed up, as opposed to quick oats. I think that they're plumper and I like the texture. You can certainly use steel cut oats as well. I just prefer Old Fashioned. We're going to throw those in a pan, dry, and start to toast them. And with that, a little bit of salt. And then after we get those toasted for about 3 to 4 minutes, we'll add our boiling water. Let that boil away until they cook down or are almost finished. On the home stretch, I'm going to add some cinnamon and vanilla, about a quarter or an eighth of a teaspoon of cinnamon, about a teaspoon of vanilla. I'm pretty heavy on the vanilla and I love it. And then when that's mixed in, I'm going to throw in a quarter cup of dried blueberries, put the lid on, let them sit for a couple of minutes and plump up, and then I'm going to top it with some maple syrup and maybe a splash of milk. Okay, so I've got our pan nice and warm. We're going to add our oats. And again, we're going to give them just a few minutes to toast up, and with that, a little pinch of salt. So we've added our oats to the dry pan, and we're just letting them toast up a little bit in that dry pan. And with that pinch of salt added in there, it's just going to give some additional flavor at the end. While that's going, I'm going to measure out some water that I recently boiled. Alright, these little guys are looking great. I'm seeing a little bit of goldenness on them. I think it's time to add our water. And I always like to use the lid as a little bit of a splash guard so that nothing too crazy happens either to me or to the cooktop. I'm just going to leave the lid rest on there for just a second till it comes up to a boil, but keep an eye on it because this guy can easily overboil. Okay, so almost all of the liquid has been absorbed. I'm going to lower the heat. And it's a great time to add our vanilla and our cinnamon. So with vanilla, I said about a teaspoon. I'm going to be a little bit generous with that. And our cinnamon. I find that when I add the vanilla, it's almost like I'm deglazing the bottom of the pan for anything that's started to stick. Alright, that's looking fantastic. I think we're on to the final phase. We're going to add our blueberries. Again, these are dried blueberries, and you could really use anything you like. I've used dried cranberries and other dried fruits. Also, a big favorite of mine after these come off the stove is to add a little bit of peanut butter. But today it's just going to be the blueberries and the maple syrup. Alright, so now that all of our ingredients are in there, I'm going to cut the heat altogether. And we're going to put a lid on and let it sit and let those blueberries sort of plump up for just another minute. Alright, we'll be back in just a second. Alright, it's been just a couple minutes. Let's take a little peek. Oh yeah, these guys are looking super great. It's really plumped up now with the blueberries. I can smell the cinnamon and the vanilla. This is just how I like it. Let me show you how I finished this dish and plate it up. One of my favorite weekend breakfasts. Again, if it's a little bit too much for you, go ahead and cut back on the amount of oats or the amount of blueberries, or change up the fruit, or change up the toppings. Do whatever you want, but this is how I like it. Alright, a couple final things just to even out this really awesome dish already. I mean, look at those oats. Super, super full and plump. I just love how they are separate and they're not really gummy. Oh, so good. Okay, so again, I like a little bit of
maple syrup. I kind of go way up top to let that drizzle down and not get too much, but just enough to add a little extra sweetness. And then I think today a little bit of milk as well. Kind of get my floating islands of oats and blueberries amongst all of that. All right, awesome. Well, there you go. That is one of my favorite breakfasts in the morning. Oatmeal on the weekends, sort of the longhand version, and so worth it.